All I can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it, do they?
Fake news? Did they get a wake-up call? I mean, this laptop is real. The Hunter Biden corruption, Joe Biden, he's seriously implicated. This is real stuff. And they're playing catch-up, but they're still hedging. Shout out to Senators Grassley and Johnson. They are not messing around. Take a look.
Senator Johnson and I were right 2 years ago. The liberal media and our Democratic colleagues aggressively tried to make the case that we were peddling Russian disinformation. Senator Johnson and I have years of bank records. These years of records show that Hunter Biden and James Biden were more connected to the communist regime's elements than had been previously known.
2 years they've been working on it. Why were they ignored? Why was it falsely called Russian disinformation? Because it hurt Hunter Biden. It hurt Joe Biden. It lessened their chances of being elected. Joe Biden's at least. Senator Johnson, too. Great job.
We showed a vast web of Biden family foreign financial entanglements that were largely ignored by the media and falsely labeled Russian disinformation by our Democrat colleagues. The most egregious behavior came from 51 former intelligence agency officials. He knew exactly who he was dealing with. He was dealing with the, quote, expletive deleted spy chief of China. This isn't Russian disinformation. These are hard facts backed up by bank records of actual financial records and transactions that prove just how connected the Bidens were and how compromised President Biden probably is.
It's Ron Johnson, a sitting United States senator. He's a big deal guy. Chuck Todd has a talk show, and you got to establish the facts to his satisfaction before he's going to let you say anything on his show.
Senator, all right, I've had enough of hearing this. No, listen, I've had enough of this too.
Just really because you have somebody say it didn't make it true.
It's easy.
Senator, none of these allegations, stop. You don't get to make these allegations that haven't been proven true. What you're basically saying is that there's enough people who believe in conspiracy theory.
I held hearings on what I figured was the most relevant issue.
You're going to do, how about the moon landing?
Obviously, this election, when you...
I think you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself why so many people.
Well, Chuck, you need to look at your mirror and
Senator Johnson, I've got to go. I appreciate you coming on.
Collusion with the Trump campaign hoax.
Yeah, he says goodbye to him, wishes him luck on investigating the moon landing. These guys deserve apologies. The media, I don't know, there's no hope for most of them. They're just addicted to their status, to their prestige, to their money. And how do they get that? How do they keep that? Especially in times like this, especially a host like Chuck Todd. Think he's not freaked out about the woke movement? Something very strange is happening here. But I'm actually encouraged by, what do they call it, the next generation? Take a look at these very smart kids, college kids, the University of Chicago. These are freshmen, and they've got something to say about all this stuff.
Do you think the media acted inappropriately when they instantly dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation? And what can we learn from that in ensuring that what we label as disinformation is truly disinformation and not reality?
My problem with Hunter Biden's laptop is I think totally irrelevant. I mean, it's not whether it's disinformation or, I mean, I don't think the Hunter Biden's business relationships have anything to do with who should be president of the United States. So I don't find it to be interesting. I mean, that would be my problem with that as a major news story.
Yes, I just didn't find it to be interesting. I follow my whimsy. You must captivate me. That's Ann Applebaum from The Atlantic, and I must find it intriguing. This kind of snob, this has defined so much of the media for the past 100 years. That kind of elitism you just saw. But again, the next generation at the same summit. Check this out. A kid taking on CNN and that Brian Stelter guy.
you've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation. But CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax. They pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
I love it. These kids are great. Of course, there's something else behind it. I call it a left-wing anti-Trump conspiracy, perhaps. Anyway, lots of hope out there. The answer was pathetic and basically a non-answer. The question was a great one. A great one. And it should be asked of Joe Biden himself. Joe, oh boy. I mean, the lying this guy has done in plain sight, and the fact that he actually pounds his chest and says he's a man of integrity.
Now I truly believe, I give my word as a Biden, I truly believe we're about to see our brightest future. I honest to God believe, I give you my word as a Biden, I honest to God believe we're in the cusp, we're at an inflection point. We have a chance to make such enormous progress. I'm serious, heads of state. I give you my word as a Biden.
The word of a Biden, the word as a Biden, that's a that doesn't mean anything. Because Joe, I mean, let's face it, your entire career, you've been caught time and time again lying your head off. And there was a time when the media was not afraid to call you out on it. Famously, one of the most famous instances in political history, or at least it should be, when you lied your head off, you told about 55 lies in 40 seconds.
What law school did you attend, and where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think
I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
And look at the smug smile at the end, huh? Doesn't reveal that he was just lying about everything he said, huh? He thought he could get away with it back then. He couldn't, and he didn't.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
Wow. Now, the media was crummy then, but it was a lot better than it is today. Look at that. That's an amazing sequence, isn't it? And he was a Democrat, and he had to drop out of the race shortly thereafter because he was caught lying. Where are the media now? The media, so corrupt, so screwy, they actually sanctify Black Lives Matter, a socialist group that is out for the destruction not only of American culture, but the nuclear family. That is their stated goal. And they want to achieve it by any means necessary, including violence. And you know, and I know, that the media, they've glorified these guys every step of the way. And corporate America, they're just afraid. They're afraid of the mob. They're afraid of the media, and whatever sounds fashionable, stylish in the moment, they'll do it.
Companies like ours must speak up as allies to the Black Lives Matter movement.
It's a critical time for our country. It's a critical time, I think, for business to also be speaking out, speaking up, about these issues.
I want to address the topic of racism, inequality, and injustice, and to recognize the pain being felt throughout our nation, especially in our Black and brown communities after the senseless killing of George Floyd.
Alrighty, so they started writing checks left and right and throwing the money at Black Lives Matter. I mean, lots and lots of money. Now, if you have a charity, whether it's a big one or a small one, you can go to Apple, and actually they have a philanthropic wing, and if you want a grant, you have to fill out an application. It might take a year, year and a half, and then they might give you a check for $25,000 if you have a decent charity that does good work, that, you can account for everything. These folks, they didn't do that. Overnight, instantaneously, they started writing these checks because, well, the mob, the media, seemed like the thing to do, seemed like the cool thing to do, and now, oh boy, we're finding out the truth. Well, we knew the truth, but they're finding out the truth. Another Black Lives Matter co-founder bought a house, $6 million. Oh, look at this, in Los Angeles. Curious, though, one of the reasons why we didn't find out about it until recently, purchased through an LLC. If you want to cover up, if you want to not advertise who's buying it, you establish a Delaware LLC or some sort of other LLC. You got to get a lawyer to do it, and Black Lives Matter did get a lawyer who works at Perkins Coie Law Firm. Perkins Coie is the law firm that employed Michael Sussman, and Michael Sussman did all kinds of work for the campaign of Hillary Clinton. Perkins Coie did a lot of legal work for Black Lives Matter. You see, what a nasty little thing. And this is the guy who's been accused of lying to the FBI, and it looks like they got a really solid case against him. Stay tuned for that one.